All right, folks, so this week's project is redoing the little barn that I inherited when I moved on the property. I've done a lot of work to it already as far as just cleaning it up, and it's been able to last me the year, but with the rains that we've had in the Pacific Northwest the last couple of months, and we're bound to get even more as we hit into our actual rainy season, it needs a serious overhaul. As you see, these boards are rotting out and falling apart. You see the rot, and the boards are just falling apart. I put in this before the boarders came in just to sort of try to hold it together. There's a hole in the door there. This is the inside. You can see it's just all rotting and falling out. So all of this is going to be replaced. Same with this side. This is really bad here where it's just rotting and boards are just falling apart. This plywood, this is the previous owner, and put this plywood up to just sort of hold them in place. And rather than just keep piecing it together, I'm just gonna completely rip all these out and replace them. The other part of this is to deal with this mud situation that's going on here. You can see where the water just drains off of the roof when it's raining, and it's just a complete mud pit out here. If I go to step in it, I just fall down through. This is after the last rain. So, oh my god, I'm stuck. Yeah, this is bad. Okay, now that I'm out into safety. So it's just this section that needs to be graded. What I'm gonna do is grade all this down to solid ground so there's no more mud, where you can see where I've done that here to try to create sort of a drain. I'll put landscaping cloth down and these gravel grids, which I'll show you once I get those in. So I want to get a good base so that when the horses paw on it, they aren't going to dig it down to the grids and dig all that work up. But then this is the other really bad spot. And I tried to grade this down and create a slope. The water did drain the last time, which was good. I still need to kind of dig it through a little bit more, but you can see how deep this goes. I have a crew coming to help me put the rest of the stuff in. I managed to clean out as much as I could on this part here. So this is the north side, and I graded all of this and I sloped it. So this will all get filled with landscaping cloth. And I graded this down so that the water will kind of flow out of here. I don't know if you can kind of see the slope downwards and into here. And then here's where, because of this weird gutter that the previous owner put in, the water drips down here. So I sloped it from there so it goes down. And my plan is to put right underneath where the water pours. I'm going to put some big rocks right here and then put the gravel around it so it won't erode as it's hitting the ground, and then it should slope right off and right into the hill. And then what I did is around these trees, these roots were all exposed where the previous owner had his sheep in here. They just kind of tore up the ground a little bit, and they have been eating the bark off the trees here. So some of them are starting to kind of die from that. Hopefully I can keep them from, these are madronas, hopefully I can keep them from dying off, because having the trees here, they'll suck up that moisture as well. So I kind of built up where the roots were exposed so they get a little bit more protection, and hopefully the horses won't be with that raised up. They'll avoid walking around these trees and exposing the roots more. As we walk to the other side of the barn, you can see it rained last night. See where these roots were exposed, and all the bark has just been stripped off right in here, and then these roots have just been exposed for so long that this tree is pretty much dead, but maybe there's still some life in it. This is as far as I got today. I fine-tuned this a little bit. I'm losing my daylight and working off of the barn's lights a little bit as dusk hits. That is the lip of where the gravel's going to end in this area, and then I built up around that tree where the roots were exposed. This will all get gravel tomorrow here, and it slopes downwards. This is day 2 that I hired a crew to come in and help me out so that we could just get this done. And they ripped out all of the wood from the siding. Once they were done ripping that out, they cut new boards for the new siding and then just slipped them in. John didn't feel like I had graded it well enough, so he came through and did a little bit more. All right, folks, so this is day 3 of getting the mud under control in the little barn here on Rock Ranch to get the walls up, the new walls on the little barn, and replace all that rotten wood. We've also been able to get the landscaping cloth down and put in the grid systems that I got off of Amazon. The grids were put together with these zip ties and then cut to size. This was a little bit trickier of an area, so we had to go around that tree. And then we staked it in with these little wood stakes to hold it in place. Once the gravel gets in here, we'll pull those stakes out because the gravel will hold it in place, and there's no reason to have those up for the horses to kick around. This is what the new wood looks like on the barn. I used what they call decking material here on Vashon Island, our island lumber, called car decking material. They're 16-foot boards by 6 inches, and it's notched on the outside, so you can see it's smooth on the inside here. It's got this pretty kind of notched look to it, and it's tongue and groove, so it fits in just perfect. This is the same wood that I used on my custom stalls by Sterling. The project, you can find the project on my YouTube channel. The slot right here, these boards just fit in and slipped right in like that. Pound them in right into place. You need to cut these end pieces here. What I'll do is cut off this tongue right here with a table saw, and then cut a piece this wide, and that'll fit perfectly in here and sit in this notch. This is the side that has had the landscaping cloth down and the grid. This one was easier because it is just a perfect square. The barn looks like from this view. This looks really good. had a bit of a snafu the other day. I'm now taking my tire iron over to the tractor because my old tires that have been slowly leaking, the right one exploded. Literally exploded. Loud pop is now dead. Mid-dump. The tractor is stuck where I'm trying to work. I have a neighbor that's offering me his tractor to finish the job since I've got to get the tractor out of the way before I can make that happen. To try to dump what is here now and limp the tractor back a ways in front of the goat pen there. I got the tractor moved, so now I just need to get the tires off. When your tractor's out of commission, your neighbor comes up with his tractor to come help you out. You can see behind me that the barn is now finished and the horses are using it. Mocha is making full use of her gravel area. And there she is using the inside. You can see even in the rain, which is pouring down right now, not have much of a problem with the mud anymore. Cheyenne agrees. As you can see, this is a few weeks later. The base has a good few inches. After a few rains, this has been a couple weeks now. It's holding up pretty good. Hi, Cheyenne.